Mississippi State, they don't know how to react to this double team.
Yeah, Jeffries for three. It's good. That'll fall back within one. Into the paint. Fadeaway jumper. It is no good. In and out. Rebound by Mississippi State. Here comes Davis. Davis leaves it for Smith, who lays it in. Mississippi State with a 1-point lead. 2-second difference. Shot clock, game clock.
Here's the ISO switch against Smith.
Burton. His jumper. It's good.
Pittsburgh wins the second play-in game of the day, second play-in game of the tournament. March Madness is underway. Pittsburgh will advance to the actual tournament, as will, I'm trying to see, I believe, a Texas school. I actually don't know. There's a 16 seed one yesterday. Who was it? Texas A&M Community College. Now, Texas A&M CC, is it a community college? I literally don't know. Corpus Christi probably is, be my guess. Farley Dickinson University and Texas Southern are playing today. Texas Southern, of course, like 9 games below 500. But here they are in the tournament because of the way that this works. So, yeah, good for them. This is Controversial Wednesday. I do have some controversies for all of y'all. Thank you so much. Yeah, I totally had some technical difficulties this morning, but that's how that goes. Occasionally, you got to deal with some stuff, man. Occasionally, it doesn't go according to plan. Some quick NFL updates before we get into it. Aaron Rodgers is being a douche. Nobody knows what he's going to do. Just an enormous douchebag, as he's just a douche. So we will figure it out, I guess. Darren Waller was traded. We'll get into that on Controversial Wednesday, which is fun. And, yeah, some free agents signed places. Nothing crazy happened. Stephon Gilmore was traded. Nothing crazy. Nothing really crazy at all. But we'll see how the day shapes up. Yeah, March Madness continues tonight. We will do brackets tomorrow. Maybe we'll do the Wall Street Journal bracket thing that I made fun of yesterday. But we're going to start with the NFL draft, and Jalen Carter, who may or may not have been involved, is accused to have been involved with a crash that killed one of his teammates. But say like a week after they won the national championship. That's what happened during the combine, of course. And now a dash cam, or not a dash cam, a chest camera, a protector camera from a police officer has been released that Jalen Carter was accused of going 89 miles an hour in a 45 mile per hour zone, 44 miles per hour faster than when necessary. The cop, of course, covered for him because he's in Athens or wherever, and he's famous, and he didn't want to deal with it. The cop said, quote, I didn't want to be famous. So let's listen to this.
All right. You're at 5, my man. So, what, limo 10, I guess? Is that what you got? All right, man, just hang tight. Your break is you're not going to jail. That's your break. Because it makes all kinds of news, right? All right, just hang tight. This one is the speed for 89 and a 45. The second one, it's an equipment violation, okay? So,
you're not going to jail. I don't want news coverage. So, yeah, cops are great. Now this is a pattern of behavior for him. We'll see. It's gonna bump him down off some teams' boards. Of course, like Henry Ruggs is in prison for doing this, drunk at like 3:00 in the morning. He killed a human. So this is not behavior that people that are addicted to cars, man, they're not a good. Cars and gambling that shit kills people. I mean, it ruins more lives than just their own, like the way that substances. I don't want to compare which ones are worse, but that came out in the last couple of days. People may or may not have been paying attention to it. Do you remember Michael Irvin was kicked off of coverage for the Super Bowl because of an incident that happened at a Marriott? However, when we got the security footage, which was released by Michael Irvin, it appears like he didn't do anything, maybe? I'm going to pull up this TikTok. Mute you. Thank you. Just have the video. So here's this TikToker, and he's like, here's the dad. So that's Irvin right there. He's up against the door. And this is the woman he was interacting with. And remember, he got kicked off of coverage for this. And if you go through the video, there's no real altercation. Who knows what was said and who has proof of what was said? Part of me wants to say that if they kicked him off, they knew that he's a powerful person and that the subsequent lawsuit would be bad. But also maybe they just accuse him because, I mean, this has racial vibes to it. Who knows Who knows who the woman was? I guess I could look deeper into it as this happens because this lawsuit, I think, is going to be a thing. I think we're going to be checking into this for quite some time. So that's something to pay attention to. It's sports adjacent. I wonder if he was incorrectly terminated. I think this is going to be a thing for a while. I mean, again, what do I know? But I don't know how much of it's going to have to do with sports. Darren Waller, the second best tight end in football, according to pass catching and whatnot, has been acquired in a trade to the Giants. He was traded for a third-round pick from the Raiders to the Giants, and that's fine. Seems a little low, but these guys that need huge contracts, they don't really fetch huge boons, especially ahead of the draft because everyone's just fantasizing about what kind of player they could get with a third-round pick, even though Darren Waller's a superstar. Darren Waller got married about 3 weeks ago, and he told not very many people. It did get out, though, because his coach, who he told to not tell anyone, went to the combine and then leaked it to everyone. And then he was traded. So we're seeing this Patriot Way thing is starting to happen. The Patriot Way guys cannot have people questioning their genius. Their brains melt. This feels like Josh McDaniels after all this. It's just Denver all over again. Derek Carr's not coming back. Okay, you want Jimmy Garoppolo? Yeah, they saved some money on him, I think. This is their best player. Period. They traded him. And now he's mad, probably, because they leaked the information of his wedding. It's also just a huge D-bag move. His wife, who I think her name is Plum, she's a WNBA star. I don't know her first name. She was like, it's because he wasn't invited. I don't know if he's not that petty, but he definitely probably hates Darren Waller because he's going to be he's not going to fetishize the Patriot Way stuff. These Patriot Way coaches need to be gods. They don't understand that talent wins games. I think that old Bill's getting humbled a little bit. I think Brady got humbled, but I think Bill's getting humbled. Wow, Tom made up for a lot of shit that I wasn't as good as I thought I was at. He made up for a lot of shit. So they're just going to clean house on all these good players, and the good players are like, yeah, fuck those guys. And then they get a bunch of bad players who will do what they say, and then they suck and get fired. It is a tale as old as time. A tale as old as time. It really is. Let's go to soccer. Soccer Canada is broke. And I saw a TikToker make some stuff about this. She kind of was like, is there fraud? We need to pay these players. No, I just don't think Canadians watch soccer. But maybe there could absolutely be fraud. In order for, I think, the women's national team to play qualifier matches in Brazil, they needed a private donor. So the Canadian Premier Soccer League started in 2017. It's invested, according to the Toronto Star, $100 million into the growth of soccer. They also have deals with Gatorade and TikTok and Carlsberg, whichever that was, ginger ale. But they don't have any money. They're trying to hang on to get to the 2026 World Cup, which they will be co-hosting, I believe, in Toronto and Vancouver. The U.S. will have 7 or 8 sites, and Mexico has 2, I think, Guadalajara and Mexico City. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. So right now, the guy that was in charge, he was ousted. Everyone was like, this guy sucks, get him out of here. And now he's the vice president of CONCACAF. If you don't follow soccer, CONCACAF is the governing body of Central America and North America. It is the group of countries and soccer organizations within FIFA that make up the World Cup qualifying region. It is a league of leagues, right? It's who the U.S. has to beat to qualify for the World Cup. LOL. So that guy got fired from his job as the leader of Canada soccer, but now he's just kind of got promoted, I guess. It's the money and who controls it, which is why a solution is hard to find. So this is this is reporting, but it's also a column, I guess. We're not fighting for tomorrow. We're not fighting for this World Cup. For the women's team who see a chance to ensure equal treatment every year, you can see both sides at the beginning. It's true. The women just don't have a lot of methods other than potential pre-World Cup strike that works for the competitive interest. So there's going to be an investigation into this. We're Canadians at the top of the food chain kind of scraping things off, or is there just no money? I have no idea what's going on, but the Soccer Canada thing is going to continue to burn, I believe. One more controversial Wednesday story. Syracuse, the radio station that covers the university, their local ESPN affiliate, or I don't know if it's an ESPN affiliate, but whoever it is, yeah, it is. It's an ESPN radio station. They fired Brent Axe. They fired him because he believes the content of Access Show. So the CEO fired him because he believes the content of Access Show had become too negative towards Syracuse University sports, being too critical. After Jim Boeheim retires, and he owns a portion of this radio station, he fired the guy that talked shit on him. And remember, Jim Boeheim killed a human being with his car. Don't forget about that. Yep. Look into that fun thing. I had a problem with the content of the show. I'm an SU fan. I'm sorry, but I bleed orange. I'm not going to apologize for that. And I think a fair reading of the orange is appropriate. I understand this has been a business relationship, and Coach Jim Boeheim and I are personal friends, and he's an investor in my company. Yeah, you fired him because he couldn't hack it. He couldn't handle being criticized. An old fucking man, a curmudgeon. He killed the person with his car. An enormous douchebag move here. But it makes sense, man. These colleges, you can't talk shit in the town. You can't. They're gods. They're gods. They cover up like the craziest shit. You think this Alabama basketball coach didn't know that players were passing guns around? They murdered someone. A player murdered a person. They know everything. They control the cops. You just heard Jalen Carter got off for speeding. They control everything. You can't talk shit on the Godfather there. Jim Boeheim, wow. He ran Syracuse. He was great. One of the greatest coaches of all time, top 10-ish probably. Ran Syracuse into the ground. Now he's an old-ass man waiting to die. That's how it goes. He loves Syracuse so much that he ruined the program. What can I say? His final act as coach was to ruin the program. And the way college basketball works, I mean, I don't think they're coming back. Indiana ain't back. Remember all those Indiana people like, ooh, Indiana's a blue blood? No, it isn't. What? No, it really isn't. None of them are. These old programs. Yeah, I find that kind of thing to be detestable. Okay. That's it for Controversial Wednesday. Tonight, more college basketball is on the docket. A couple more play-in games. Let's take a look. Nevada and Arizona State, the 11 seeds, FDU and Texas Southern. And then at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, your West Virginia Mountaineers and Maryland Turtles will kick the tournament off. And for all of those in the Central, Mountain West, and Pacific time zones, how fun it is to spend a day at school watching college basketball. All right, back and better than ever tomorrow.